Hello, hello! It's Sunny with Creative Therapy, and I had an idea. So I got a request to do kind of a process video or let's call it a make-along. It's going to be in stages because I'm filming with my phone because that way I don't have to, it's easier. It's easier. We'll go with that. So what we're going to make is kind of a folio journal kind of thing. I made a couple of these for some friends. I think I showed a video. It's a video called Little Folio. It's a flip through of the little L-I-L, Little Folio. And this is how I made it. All right, so what we're going to do, hold on, I got to grab one other thing. Okay, so we're going to take 6x9 manila envelopes. Now, you can get these cheap. I got a whole box of them, probably 50, maybe 100. I don't know. I got a bunch of them a few years back. I've used them, and I've still got a bunch of them. And they have these little metal doohickeys, you know, that come up here and fold, the little claspy whatever. I take them out. And it does leave holes, but I'm not bothered because we are going to be covering this with pattern paper anyway, so who cares? So to make one folio, you need two 6x9 manila envelopes. Okay, and it's super simple. So I'm going to make 4 of these. This is my plan for right now. I'm going to make 4 of them, and I already put one together. All right, and so here's how this is going to go. It's going to open here, and it's going to have a signature, and it's going to have a pocket. Of course, that needs to be glued and yada yada, but this is just the bones of it. Okay, then it's open. It's going to open again. I'm going to sew in a second signature right there, but it's an accordion fold, so it's also going to open backwards, and it's got a storage pocket here. And this will just be a storage area. Probably have a little pocket right there with a tag in it. Something over here, whatever. But you get the idea. So this is 2 6x9 manila envelopes. So here's how we go. This is how we're going to do. I just put that there because that stupid glare. Ugh, such a pain. All right. So take your little doohickeys out. Technical term, doohickey. And then fold it in half. You got to be careful because it'll do some funny little bunching up stuff in there because it's an envelope. 2 thicknesses. But just fold that sucker in half, just like that. Okay, make sure it's not all crinkled up in there before you crease it down. Make sure your edges are even, yada yada, blah blah blah. Y'all know the deal. You know how to fold something in half. Okay, I didn't crease it hard. I just did it gently right now because we might need to finagle it just a little bit. Another technical term. Y'all are just learning all kinds of things here tonight. Finagle. All right, so now you see how I folded this one in towards where the flappy do is? Okay, so into the seam, like there's the seamed side. It's the back of the envelope. Got the seam down here and got the little flappy do and flappy do. Okay, so I folded this one in. Since I folded this one in, I'm going to fold my flap down here. I'm going to fold this one out. There's a reason, y'all. Just play along. Or just wait and see. Whatever makes you feel good. And I've got coffee under my nails. Sorry about that. My nails aren't dirty. They're coffee. I was coffee dyeing some papers today. Just like I knew what I was doing. All right. So there. Got it all even. Or as even as it's going to get while I'm standing here yakking to you. Or to no one. But anyway, whatever. You get it. All right, so just gently crease that one down so we don't have any messes. All right, so now that you've got your directions going, okay, you're going to take the flaps, okay, these 2 flaps, you're going to put them into each other. So this one goes inside this one, and this one goes inside this one. And sometimes you got to, you got to work it a little bit sometimes, but it can happen. It can happen. All right, so now we've got this one that folds in, And this one, see, and then your flap goes this way, and then this one goes this way. All right, maybe you want to put them together before you fold. That's another option. You could do that. You could put the two envelopes together straight. Oh, good grief. No, you can't. Not when you're trying to do it quick. Okay, so there, you can do that. And then fold your flaps so that they do that. See, now I won't be able to do it this way since I'm used to doing it the other way. Yeah, I will. All right, so then you fold this one in. The point is, you have to play with it until you get a smooth side on the outside. It has to do with where your pockets line up, because you want this pocket to open out so you can get things in and out easy, or at least I did. But then on this one, I like it to be on the inside so things don't fall out. So you can fold yours however you want. The basics of it is put the flap inside and the flap inside. Now, a lot of times we make projects and we do it to where, you know, we put the flap to the solids, and you can do that. But my thinking was this reinforces that fold better. If you've got one atop the other, it's just a little added thickness on the fold. Do you see what I mean? Because these two are folding together, so you have two thicknesses, whereas if you do it this way, you've only got the one thickness on the fold. So that's what I did. That's what I did for this particular folio. All right, so now that we have the two in, you know, the two together, one opens this way, got a pocket, opens again, no pockets here, opens backwards, pocket that goes open towards the fold. Okay, so then step 2. Well, we're going to glue it all down, of course. Okay, so you're going to glue this flappy-do in here, and this is where it gets a little tricky because, you know, I don't know, maybe tape would work better. No, I don't think tape would work better. You just need a glue that's not too quick drying. As much as I love the art glitter glue, I don't know that it's a good one for this because you need to wiggle a little. So you want something that's going to stay tacky for just a little bit. Because, you know, here you've got wet glue on here and on here. So as you slide them together, you see how that can be a mess? So you kind of got to work that just a little bit. When I played with it before, I may have glued one and got it in there like that, and then put the glue on and kind of scooched this one in. No, I don't think that's a good idea either. I think you have to just put the glue on there and do the best you can. Oh, goodness. Boy, I should have thought this through better before I did this video. Well, I know you can do it because I did it twice before. I've made 2 of these. I don't have them here to show you, but like I said, there is a video of them out there a few videos back after they were done. But, so glue those together. That's going to be your, you got to fold it, you got to glue it. Then you need to glue any loose ends down. So right here, and sometimes they're loose on the seams. So, you know, get everything kind of ship shape. And then, so if these are perfect size, if you have any coffee dyed papers or if you use any 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. So this is just printer paper, you know, and I coffee dyed it today. I ain't gonna lie, I had some leftover cold brew in the fridge that had been sitting there a minute and I didn't want to throw it out. I hate to throw anything away. So I just used my leftover cold brew and dyed up some printer paper. But here's the thing. If you fold them in half, you'll cut them in half. All right. So on the long edge, on the 11-inch edge, you'll cut them at 5.5 inches. And then look what happens. They are just the perfect size. Just perfect. to sew in to these to make your journals. So any 8.5 by 11 sheets you have are going to be perfect to use for your signatures. I have all kinds of different papers. You know, I like to mix it up. So I'll be putting a bunch of different ones in. But this first video is simply to show you how to construct the bones. So this is the bones, y'all. How basic is that? An accordion fold out of 2 6 by 9 manila envelopes. And then we're going to make some stuff. This one's going to fold in like so. And then that one's going to fold on the smooth side. And there you go. I think these are going to be good for making several at once. So that's why I'm doing it, because I want to put these in the little local shop. I want to put these in Tangled Up in Hue. I want to be able to, you know, do several of them at once. And then now, once I get these glued together, my next step is going to be to decide what kind of papers I want just on the pages. Now these are going to be really basic. I am going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes. So I'm going to take my measurements. And, okay, so you can cut them to fit this, but you can also just cut them straight, put a thumb hole in it, and then you don't have to work out this angle, this curve. So, let's see what size papers we need. All right, so these are 4.5 by 6. So I'm going to cut 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to cut 8 of them. Just cut 8 of them at once. I'm making 4 of these, so I'm going to cut 32. And you'll be able to get 4 out of any type of paper you have that's 12 by 12. So if you have any paper pads, I'm looking now to grab one so I can give an example. All right, so here is Tim Holtz Ideology in the memoranda. I like this. It makes good backgrounds. It's pretty. Look at me. Neutral colors. They look like documents and stuff. Actually, these will work nice. You know how in the back there's the 6 by 6? So, of course, we're going to have to cut them down because I want 5 3/4 by 4. What did I say? 4 1/4. So you can't get 3 across. Okay, so you can still get 4 out of these and have some scraps to use for ephemera somewhere. Okay, so you can use these 6 by 6 ones. You can use 6 by 6 pads. There's another option. So let's see what I've got over here. We can really mix this up and make them very different. So you're going to have the same basic structure, the bones of it, but you can make a very different journal out of this paper and different ephemera and stamps and washi and whatever. Then you can make out of, sorry for the noise, then you can make out of these papers. Now this, of course, is going to be vintagey and a much different feel to it. And it's going to look much differently if I use like this pretty big stripe on one, or if I use, you know, something like this that's going to have a much smaller pattern on it. I mean, look at the difference in the grid here. Here's like the graph paper here. So if I use this piece, I'm going to have these little squares. But if I go find that big piece of paper and use it, there you go. That's a much different feel to the page, right? Gives it a different texture. And this is going to be quite large, this little strip right here. Whereas on the other one, it's just a much smaller statement. It's less of a statement, I should say. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go pick papers. And I want to make these very different. Since they're going in a store, I want to appeal to very different, you know, different peoples We don't want everything the same. So I really like this green with, I'm not a rose person, I'm not a whole floor, but this is good together. And people that like that, we want them to have that option. I can't just make everything the way I like it, because Lord knows I have never spoke for the majority in my life. So if I like it, probably most people don't. See, I like this together. That's adorable. You know, even if it's pink, whatever. But this has some, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm glad I grabbed this, because I'm pretty sure I'm just going to make one out of this and see what I can come up with out of this. So let's do one folio out of this. This is more my comfort zone. This is more my familiar. But, you know, let's shake it up, mix it up. What else have I got that I can play with over here? Let's just grab some stuff, see what we got. Now this Mariposa stack, look at that. Now these are 4x6, I believe. So even these would work, although they're pretty darn heavy. Might make good covers though. I wouldn't want to use that. Well, I don't know, maybe I would. Look at those flutterbys. Hey, this might be one of the other ones. Look at that. I may have already found two. So anyway, pull out your odds and ends that you haven't used in a gazillion years. See what you can find at your house. What's over here? Well, look at that. I don't know if there's enough to do one whole book. I'd need 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. There's a book, y'all. This is just some leftover nothing. There's a book. It's kind of loud, but there's a book. Maybe somebody likes loud books. Who knows? All right, so I'm going to dig through some papers. I am going to glue my stuff together, cut my papers off camera, because how boring is that? All right, and so I'm going to glue them. I'm going to put my wallpapers on. That's what I call them, my wallpapers or my mats or whatever you call it. Do it. Don't matter what you call it. Just matters that you do it. All right, so we're going to do that. And then I'll come back and we'll work on some signatures and then some decorations. See, I'm going to have to glue a bunch of stuff down. These, you know, these envelopes are cheapies, not to mention mine have been sitting for, I don't know, what, 5, 6 years? Who knows? Who knows what happens over here? All right, you see that big old mess? That's going to turn into cash in the bank. That's what it's going to be. Okay. Y'all check back in a day or two and see where we're at with this, okay? We're gonna get to work on it. You find you some envelopes or find you something you can fold to similar dimensions. It doesn't have to be exactly this, but this is going to be a fun little folio. All right. Thanks for putting up with me again just for a few minutes this evening. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I will be checking back.